All right, welcome to the Wyoming Five Star Podcast. I'm your host, Taryn Debley. I'm here with a really exciting guest today, quarterback of the Mountain View Buffaloes, Justus Platts. Justus, welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thanks for taking the time to hang out and talk with us a little bit today. We were talking a little before the recording started, just kind of getting to know each other. And you've had quite the eventful last few weeks.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Especially down in Laramie. You guys balled out on War Memorial Stadium, and then we had Thanksgiving pretty much right around the corner. Did you guys have a nice Thanksgiving?
Yes, sir. We went down for an official visit at Utah Tech, and then went to a Las Vegas Raiders game the next day. Watched Shador Sanders' first start, and then
Oh,
came back up to St. George and spent that with some family.
that's awesome, man. Yeah, you got quite a bit of family down there. It sounds like, and you just told me off camera that this morning you signed to play quarterback there at Utah Tech in St. George.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, congratulations, man. How does that feel?
Feels great. I'm very excited to go there. Utah Tech, I think it's, a perfect opportunity for me. I got family down there and stuff. And yeah, I'm excited to go to college and show everyone what I got.
Also, is there anything about Utah Tech besides your family, or about coach that you liked in particular? Was there any other reason that you chose there?
Yes, sir. The offensive coordinator, he's a good fit for me. So is I was the first quarterback that they offered. So, I decided to commit before they would offer anyone else, just because that would, is a good opportunity and situation for me.
That's cool, man. How does your family feel about that?
Great. My mom
They
used
get to
to,
watch you play a lot.
yeah, my mom was a counselor at Dixie State, and we have a lot of family down there on my dad's side. So we would always go and visit, for the holidays in St. George and stuff. So it's just perfect.
Yeah, it just worked out just right.
Yep.
Awesome. Justice, you pretty much swept all the offensive football awards this year. For us, it felt like we landed a big fish when you said you wanted to be on the podcast. Just super excited to talk to you. I mean, you're the Super 25 Offensive Player of the Year here in Wyoming. You're the Max Preps Player of the Year for Wyoming as well. And I'm guessing that you're probably going to be the Gatorade Player of the Year as well here coming up in the next few weeks. It was just a real treat to watch you play over the last 3 weeks. Really, I started kind of picking up your game film and stuff through the postseason, and then I really tuned in to watch you play against Lyman in the semifinals. And what a fun game to watch that was. You had 7 touchdowns in that game.
Level, yes, sir.
Excuse me, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then turning right around, you had 6 touchdowns in Laramie.
Mhm.
I mean, is that something that you can kind of prepare for, or do you expect to have performances like that? What's going through your mind when you're, racking up touchdowns like that?
Yeah, I think I just gotta have like the right mental mindset going into the game. I gotta, be prepared for the team that we're playing, and you know, I knew I would have to play my best versus Bighorn and
Hmm.
level too. So that helped me, and I think it's just all mental. So
Hmm.
mentally, if I'm prepared, then I'll play good.
Hmm.
There's been times where I'm not as prepared mentally, and I think that's the reason why I'm able to prepare myself mentally is because I know how to. I've been in places where I wasn't, so I know
Hmm.
how to get there now. So yeah, I think
So
that.
in those situations when you don't feel prepared mentally versus when you do prepared, or you do prepare mentally, what's the difference there? Like what exactly do you mean by that?
Sometimes, like, especially in the past few years when I was younger, I would I would be too excited, too amped up, a little nervous, I think, for me, being focused on the process and not the outcome, and then also, I can't be like worried about stats and stuff like that.
Right.
So I just got to do, play by play, focus on the process, and the touchdowns will come.
Yeah, and that's a unique thing about playing quarterback, I assume. Is there anything about is there anything about the position that the average fan might not understand? Like, it seems like it's a quite hard position to play.
Yeah, it's confusing for sure, gotta read defenses during the play, um, and just, if you're not in the mental mindset, like I said earlier, it's gonna, reflect how you play.
Sure. Do you have a particular game plan when you're playing against tough teams like Level or playing against like especially Bighorn? I mean, they were a wonderful team to watch this year too, and that turned out to be quite the shootout at War Memorial Stadium. What's the game plan going into a championship, finale like that?
Game plan was, obviously just, whatever it take to win, and, we all came together as a team, and we knew it would be everything we had.
Hmm.
Bighorn was great. um Definitely the best team I've ever played. And yeah, like, I had to obviously do as much as I could, running the ball, throwing it too. So, like, game plan, just first down after first down, to play by play, and then just, like, we had to push ourselves beyond our limits.
Sure. What's Coach Walk telling you guys like um, before the game or during halftime? Because watching the game, that was probably the most exciting two-a game I've ever seen. I mean, it was 41 to
Yeah,
38, right?
for
But
sure.
you're scoring a lot of touchdowns, but Bighorn's scoring a lot of touchdowns too.
Yeah.
So is there a level of like composure that Coach Walk had that kind of fell over the team? What was he saying throughout the whole game?
His whole, he had us, believing that we were going to be champions, before
Hmm.
we were champions. So before the game, we all, he was trying to convince us that, or tell us, that we got to believe that we are champions. And
Sure.
then, we became champions throughout the game. We were calm throughout the game. And, I think that definitely helped us. If we were too excited, and like, oh wow, we're playing in the University of Wyoming War Memorial Stadium, that would kind of freak us out and stuff. So we just stayed calm.
Sure. I mean, especially when you've got Bighorn that runs the incredible double pass to
Yeah,
to kind of shock the stadium, like almost as if, oh, hey, hold on, this game's not over. So I
yeah,
could see how if you were not in the right headspace, before the game and throughout the game, that those big kind of power punches like that might, eventually knock you down.
yeah.
Um, did you anticipate that it would be such a high scoring affair?
No, not necessarily. I knew, it wouldn't be like low scoring. I didn't expect it to be that high scoring either. But yeah, it was for sure like, we'd score. I'd be confident and stuff. They would score, and I'd be like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, that run that you had up against the high altitude performance center, I think it was quarterback counter, and you went off the right side and you made that extremely just incredible cut to get into the end zone. I mean, you had a handful of plays that just really stand out. Of course, the 97-yard run. You had kind of your first score of the game. You had a jump pass to Colby in the back corner.
Yeah,
You had another scamper around the left side to find the end zone. I mean, I just seemed like you were in complete control. And when you said that you were calm, I could feel that in the stands. Like it wasn't really this raw, high energy performance. While you had a lot of energy, also just seemed kind of like you were preparing for this to be a long shootout type of a game. Did you have any other games like that this season that kind of braced you for a collision like that?
I'd say maybe Thermopolis and
Yeah.
Level for sure.
Hmm.
And we scored 28 points in the first half versus Thermopolis and didn't score in the second. So, our energy, if our energy's up, then we're gonna be successful.
Hmm.
So, that was a learning experience for us because, we thought that we had that game easy, so we came out
Hmm.
the second half and kinda, let off the gas a little bit.
Sure.
And then versus Level, yeah, we knew they were good. They got a lot of size, so, We're expecting a close game. We know we'd have to play our best to beat them.
Sure. So let's turn back pages a little bit. You maybe some of our audience doesn't know this. You transferred in from Texas when you were a freshman.
Yes, sir. Yeah, after
Okay,
my
so
freshman season.
did you play football for Mountain View in your freshman year, or it
No,
was
sir.
after?
No,
After.
I
Okay,
moved around Christmas time.
cool. So what's the difference, like the main difference between Texas football and Wyoming football?
I was at a pretty big school, so coming to Mountain View, it's just like it's like it really is a family,
Hmm.
I was close with my friends in Texas and stuff, but everyone, the whole community, it's just super close, and um, yeah, everyone's a part of it here.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Wyoming, so I've made passes through Mountain View several times, via playing or coaching. One thing I can always say about when you go to Mountain View is it's an entire community event every time one of the team plays. Were you expecting that at coming to such a small school? I talked with your dad a little bit, and Coach Walk, and it sounds like they were kind of buddies before. So maybe did you have some kind of inkling of what the landing would be like?
I had no idea what it would be like, so it was a lot different than Texas, especially like school, and just all everyone like we know everyone in the school and stuff, so
Hmm.
it's it's really cool, and yeah, I had no idea what I was coming to.
Yeah, it seems to be quite a awesome community that just really supports the programs. I mean, is there anybody that's not within the sports community that just sticks out to you? Like, do you have like like a special fan, or do you have any of your teachers come out and watch you play?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, everyone's there, everyone's supporting. um there's not much more, like, support. We couldn't ask for any more support.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, what do you think the biggest like misconception is about 2A football? Um, just in general, like when I was watching the games this year, I thought quite a few of the 2A teams could really hang with 3A teams, and you get this sense that maybe because they're a smaller school that they belong in a smaller classification. But you're a really good example that some high caliber talent could come out of these smaller schools. Do you have like a testimony about small school football in Wyoming, or the toughness that is consistent amongst the classifications?
Yeah, I think, at a smaller school, smaller class, everyone's got to be tough, and effort. Obviously, like, there's still talent at the 2A level, and
Hmm.
I think a lot of us could compete with bigger schools, a lot of teams too. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, it's just every team, just about every team is very tough. Don't
Hmm.
quit. So
Do you think that has something to do with just the Wyoming kind of culture of, being kind of this cowboy tough, or do you think it's coaching, or do you think just the talent is just scattered throughout the state? Do you have any thoughts on that?
yeah, I mean, I would say more kids are more disciplined,
Hmm.
and I think coaching would definitely play a role in how tough kids are. So
Yeah,
and obviously, like, if everyone's close with each other, the brotherhood, you're gonna keep fighting for your brothers. So
right. So after last season, take us through a little bit about your injury last year. It seemed like kind of this sweeping senior season that you've had in terms of awards and accolades. It seemed like that could have happened last year too. Is there anything that really stands out to you about your junior season last year that maybe prepared you in a certain way for your senior year? Maybe just take us through that a little bit.
yeah, last year, that was definitely, I did good last year, and there was a few games, I wasn't mentally prepared. Like Thermopolis, they beat us. I don't think that they should have beat us, but I wasn't mentally prepared for that. I thought we'd easily win. I so yeah, obviously, they beat us, and that was definitely, a very important learning experience for me.
Mhm,
Because I've implemented that, like that. I was able to learn from that and use that in every game this year. So and then
mhm,
last year, um, yeah, the season we were great. I think we could have won it last year for sure too. And my injury, I think it was just part of God's plan.
mhm.
Maybe I wouldn't be as successful as I was this year without that happening. And it's definitely it. That was also just a great experience for me. Even though I wish it didn't happen. It's probably good that it
Mhm.
did.
Well, I can kind of understand what you mean by that. But maybe tell our audience like what about like I from an outside perspective, you think you have kind of a kind of a tough injury like that, um, and you think like, man, this is going to have this maybe negative impact on my life, but it seems like it had a really positive impact on yours.
Yeah, I'd say it did. It definitely made me more hungry. To get better, play better, have a better season than I did last year. Um, I just think it was a part of God's plan.
Yeah. Does your faith have any impact on you in the on the football field?
Yes, sir, for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't be where I am today without God.
That's awesome. Is that something that comes kind of come from your family, or did you find that on your own?
A little bit of both. This year, I'd pray every day, before every game with my dad. Keep me safe and stuff, and
Mhm.
and God answered.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to surrender some of that stuff, like, especially in the sports realm. Like, there is an element of I want to have high success, I want to overachieve, I want to build these accolades, or I want to, go to college or win a championship. So, balancing some of that, kind of that personal gain with God's plan, I'm sure has been pretty tough. Is that kind of a common thing there in Mountain View? Do any of your teammates share some of those same values?
Yes, sir. We started a new tradition. Before every game, we'd all get together and pray in the end zone. I think
Mhm.
that's helped us a lot for sure. So, um, God played a big role in us being successful this season.
Cool, man. Well, is there anything is special about dressing out and practicing it on campus, like in the indoor practice field? I don't think I've ever been in there for a practice or anything like that. It seemed like it was pretty cool.
Yeah, so we came up that the Thursday night before we practiced on our field at home, our game field. Then we went in, and an hour later we you know departed from the school on the buses and made it to Laramie. Went out and ate, and then we had a meeting that night and a meeting the next morning. And yeah, I think it's definitely good that Coach Walk planned that trip out the way he did.
Was it kind of unique traveling and spending the night for a football game? Had you ever done that before? I don't think that's very common in Wyoming.
Yeah, we haven't done it much. We did it last year, which is level in level. We did it this year in Worland too.
Okay.
So yeah, twice this season. I love spending the night, with the guys and stuff, the team,
Hmm. Do you
bonding with
guys do
them,
like
and
a? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, and just spending time, at the hotel with the guys.
Do you guys do like a walkthrough, or is there like um like a mini practice or anything like before you guys get to the field at War Memorial?
Nope.
You
We
just go
ate
right out on the
breakfast.
field.
Yeah, we had a meeting that morning. We got to the university, and we just walked the field, and we didn't practice or anything, but then we went in, came back out, and got warmed up.
Cool.
So we never
Well,
did practice on the field. Yeah, we practiced the day before on our field, but never on theirs.
okay. What were some of the things that you expected like after the game? Like did you guys think that there would be a like a celebration, or cuz I actually talked to you on the field after the game, and one of the things I remember you saying was, "Well, we're just going to get on the bus and go back home." I just think in Wyoming that's just kind of a funny thing, like everyone's scattered so far, throughout the state that after you win the state championship it's like, "Oh yeah, we got to get right back on the bus and just."
Yeah, yeah, we went to Chili's afterwards, and that was very fun. But bus rides home after a win, it's very fun.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, we're here at Wyoming Five Star, like we're rooting for you, man. We hope that you get the Gatorade Player of the Year. You seem very deserving. You seem like a really, really just nice kid, and um, it was a treat to watch you play football this year. And um, I'm just wishing you all the best at Utah Tech. Hopefully, we can stay in touch and just kind of track you throughout the season. Anything you want to say to the Mountain View community before we sign off?
Yeah, thank you to every single one of you who, even just came to one game.
Cool. All right, man. Well, I'm really grateful to chat with you, Justin, and thank you to your folks or to your dad that helped get this set up, and look forward to talking to you in the future.
Yes, sir, for sure.
All right. See you
Thank you.
later, Justice. Bye bye.
See ya. Bye.